heart of Florida's great Northwest. It's radio. Indeed it is. This is Pat Crawford, hoping you'll stay with us for some music and conversation here aboard our stage studio located in the Historic Museum of Commerce in downtown Pensacola. And what a fantastic audience we have tonight. A beautiful audience, as I say every month, an audience made for radio. Thank you so much for showing up and looking so darn good tonight. Oh yeah. And it's dry in here. We survived the tropical storm, and it's raining a little bit tonight, but it's nice and dry here in the museum, and we're going to have a great time. We have artists tonight on the show that are familiar to many of you because we've had them on Radio Live over the years. Some of my favorites are on the show tonight. In fact, all of them are my favorites tonight, for sure. We're going to start out with Cliff Eberhardt. Cliff hit the road at the tender age of 15, traveling and performing with his older brother before landing in New York City in the late 70s, where he performed with artists including Suzanne Vega, John Gorka, and Sean Colvin in legendary clubs like the Bitter End. In 1990, Cliff began an association with Windham Hill Records and recorded 3 albums for their High Street division. In 1997, he switched labels and recorded Songs of Good and Evil for Red House Records. He recorded 2 more albums before his critically acclaimed The High and the Down Below, which was named one of the top 5 albums of the year in 2007. His album released 2009, his release 500 Miles, The Blue Rock Sessions, quickly became one of the top-selling folk music downloads on iTunes. In 2012, he kind of switched gears a little bit, and he performed and wrote original music for The Taming of the Shrew at the Folger Shakespeare Theater in Washington, which won him a Helen Hayes Award. Subsequently, the theater released Shrew Songs, music for The Taming of the Shrew, an album by Cliff, and he's got that here tonight as well. Please welcome my friend, Cliff Eberhardt.
Thank you. This is one of the songs from The Taming of the Shrew. I just got hired to do another play that opens next summer at the Getty Estate in Malibu, and it's a Greek tragedy. I don't know why they keep giving me such easy plays to do it. Thank you. Never was one for compromise till you cut me down to size. I used to believe that everything I ever said was true. I don't want to talk about it. All I want to do is sing the blues. There's a time and a place for everything. A broken heart, a wedding ring, a friendly conversation to unravel all the things we do. Now you want me to discuss this. All I want to do is sing the blues.
Happy or sad, peaceful or mad,
It cures this ever ailing my soul. If you'd only let me choose, I choose to sing the blues. Helps me keep my world under control. Oh, I'd like to learn from all you know. I'd like to know you from head to toe. I'd like to know the buttons you insist that I installed in you. Now you wanna press the issue. All I wanna do is sing the blues. This is Hueys Basra. The song I wrote about lovers that are separated by an international border, so they can't see each other. One time I was doing a show in New York. I'd been on the road a long time. I was very tired, and I introduced this song, and the sound guy who had recorded the show said, "Did you mean to use the introduction you did for Land of the Free?" And I said, "Well, didn't I say this is about lovers separated by an international border?" He said, "No, Cliff, that's not what you said." I said, "What did I say?" He handed me a CD. He said, check out track 7 on the way back to the hotel. To my horror, I said, "This is about lovers that are separated by an international house of pancakes." Went right on with the show. And especially the Northeast, the folk fans are rather ardent. And they were coming up to me after the show saying, "We understand the metaphor of the pancake in the heart, Cliff." The sun doesn't care on which side of the river it lays its head down for rest. She is waiting for me in the land of the free. Well, it's ironic to me, I guess. And I look how the seabirds fly over the borderline. They never have to spend a dime to have a home. Now look at the shape I'm in. My emotions are paper thin. They're gonna send me back again. That's the way that it goes. Over the water, over the mountains, over and over, she waits for me. Only in heaven there are no borders. Only in heaven, the land of the free. If I had only caught that boat 300 years ago, there'd be no papers to show, not even my name. And I cannot comprehend what they feel they must defend, because they all pretend we're all created the same. Over the water, over the mountains, over and over, she waits for me. Only in heaven there are Thank you. I just completed recording an album of cover songs called Found Objects. It's going to be out sometime this fall. And this is one of the songs from it. It's an old traditional folk song about a psychopathic guy. Thank you. And if he were here, he'd thank you. When first I came to Louisville, my fortune there to find, a damsel there from Lexington was pleasing to my mind. Her rosy cheeks, her ruby lips, like arrows pierced my breast, and the name she bore was Flora, the lily of the west. I courted lovely Flora, it's a pleasure there to find, but she turned unto another man, which so distressed my mind. She robbed me of my liberty, she deprived me of my rest. Still I love my faithless Flora, the lily of the west. Down in yonder shady grove, a man of high degree, conversing with my Flora there, and it seems so strange to me, the answer that she gave to him, but it caused me to obsess. I was betrayed by Flora, the lily of the west. Well, I stepped up to my rival, a dagger in my hand. Well, I seized him by the collar head, I boldly made him stand, being mad to desperation. I pierced him in his breast, and I did this awful Flora, the lily of the west. Stand my trial, and I had to make my plea. Well, they placed me in the criminal box and then commenced on me. Although she swore my life away, she deprived me of the rest. Still I love my faithless Flora, she's a lily of the west.
Cliff Eberhardt. Yeah, thank you, Cliff. All right. Cliff will be back with us in the second half of the program, and the program is Radio Live, coming to you live this evening from the Museum of Commerce in downtown Pensacola and broadcast on WUWF 88.1 FM. We are listener-supported radio from the University of West Florida. That beautiful second voice you were hearing during that last set belongs to our next guest, Louise Mosrie, who grew up in a small town just outside of Nashville on a farm with British parents and several siblings, spending her time riding horses, writing poetry, and singing with the radio. After college, she borrowed her brother's guitar, bought a simple chord book, and started writing songs on her own. After a move back to Nashville a few years later and some deep soul searching, Louise began writing songs about the South, what she knew and where she grew up. And in 2008, she began working on a new album, eventually to be called Home, a mix of bluegrass, country, and folk, weaving lush stories about Southern life, leading to her being labeled as the William Faulkner with a guitar. After winning top awards at the Kerrville Folk Festival, the Wildflower Festival, Telluride Bluegrass Festival, and Falcon Ridge Folk Festival, Home debuted as #1 on the folk DJ charts in January 2010 and went on to become one of the most played albums that year. Her most recent project, Lay It Down, is a collection of deeply personal songs and a collaboration with our friend Cliff Eberhardt, who's going to hang around as well for her set. Please welcome Louise Mosrie.
There's a dark-eyed jungle just outside my window, and he's singing his heart out. And though the sky is dark and fills it deep with snow, he's still singing his heart out. He's breathing in time with God. His voice cuts through morning fog. Oh, his song is all he's got, and he is singing his heart out. Little girl walks to the bus stop up my street, and she is singing her heart out. Though her dress is dirty and her mama screams, she's still singing her heart out. And oh, she's breathing in time with God, and her dreams don't feel so far off. Oh, her song is all she's got, she is singing her heart out. And though my days may be short and my mind thick with troubles, I am singing my heart out. 'Cause it's the only way I know to grow flowers from this rubble, when I'm singing my heart out. And oh, like breathing in time with God, the sun burns down that old morning fog. Oh, my song is all I got, and I am singing my heart out. Oh, my song is all I got, and I am singing my heart out. Thank you. Yes, I had the incredible good fortune to work with a fantastic songwriter and producer, arranger, and engineer on my last project, and he's just happened to be sitting here, and this is Cliff Eberhardt. And this is a song that that came to me because I realized that I'm kind of the go-to psychologist for a lot of my friends, which is not a bad thing if you're a songwriter. Just, if you call, let me grab a pen first. If anybody needs to talk, just let me know.
I'll be calling you later.
I got ears, I land easy, so go and lay your troubles on me. I got a heart that can love you right where you are. And I got arms that can hold all the doubt in your soul. So honey, come in from the cold, I'll take you in. Like a cabin in the falling snow, a light in the window, quiet as a deep night, peppered in starlight. I know you're trying to be brave, cracking jokes just to save face. But when the laughter fades, your eyes give you away. But you could let your guard down, sit right here and talk it out. Pour your tears into this house, I'll take you in. Like a cabin in the falling snow, a light in the window, quiet as a deep night, ooh, peppered in starlight. Morning's breaking like your heart, oh, across the sky, a deep scar, lonely as you are. I'll take you in. Ooh, and lonely like you are, I'll take you in. Cliff Eberhardt on the guitar. Thank you. So there you go. Call me later. Now this song, it was born out of a slightly true story. I try not to let the truth get in the way of a story. But so an old boyfriend looked me up after many years. Hadn't seen him since I was 16. And at first I thought that, wow, it's really cool. You know, what'd you do with your life? What happened? What's going on? You know? I was married at the time, and it was like, and he was married too, and it was like, oh, and he had kids, and so, you know, nice conversation, whatever. And then the next day, he called back, and he wanted to talk some more. And then the next day, he called back, and he wanted to talk some more. And it kind of went on, and it got a little uncomfortable and a little too much. And so I as a Drama Queen songwriter, had to write a song about it. It was a little spooky, it was a little creepy, and he quit calling after the record came out. So. odd years, 2 failed marriages, 3 grown kids. You're dragging those heavy bags back east, so don't come looking for me. 12 phone calls in 14 days, straight to voicemail. I got nothing to say. Cars are moving slow down my street, oh, don't come looking for me. Got a fine house in the shade of an oak tree, a patch garden and a husband who loves me. It's a world bigger than your lonely memories. I'm not the girl you left in Tennessee, so don't come looking for me. Like ice cold water on my face, it was back in time, back in that place. You curled around me like poison ivy. Now don't come looking for me. 'Cause that torch you carry is dark as sin. I ain't letting the devil walk back in. If you really care, you let me be. I don't come looking for me. 'Cause there's a dead-end road in the back of my mind, a junkyard of memories like cars left to die. Lovers' tears that I've long since left behind. You can't push that river back upstream. No, don't come looking for me. Got a fine house in the shade of an oak tree, a patch garden and a husband, well, he's real sweet. It's a world better than your rosy memories. I'm not the girl you left in Tennessee, so don't come looking for me. No, no, don't come looking for me. No, no, don't come looking for me.
Thank you. Cliff Eberhardt on guitar.
Louise Mosrie. Louise, thank you. And Louise is going to stay up here with us because she's just going to make some beautiful music with everybody tonight. It's great. All right. You're listening to Radio Live, coming to you live from the Museum of Commerce in the beautiful historic village of Pensacola. Support for this program comes from the UWF Historic Trust, purveyors of this museum and many other historic properties down here, and we appreciate their support in continuing keeping live performance music truly alive. All right, joining me now is a friend I've had on many times. In fact, it seems like I usually have him back every September, so why should I make it any different than this September? Grant Peeples is a 7th-generation Floridian and a former expatriate, having spent 11 years on a tiny island off the coast of Nicaragua, where he installed the island's first flushing toilet. I love that fact. Much of what he writes today is informed by that experience. Not the toilet, but the living there for 11 years. Or I don't know, maybe the toilet. That's probably in there too. With a voice No Depression magazine said sounds like a 57 Chevy with glass mufflers, and songs that the radio blog Routes and Branches deemed smart, strong lyrics that mean something and say it in a way you haven't heard before. Grant continues to receive rave reviews for his writing and performance. He's even been heralded as the Woody Guthrie of the new millennium. He's made 10 studio albums, or maybe more, I may have it wrong, 3 live recordings and 2 poetry books. His newest project is the book My Advice to Pilgrims, which I'm sure we're going to hear from tonight. Please join me in welcoming my good friend, Mr. Grant Peeples.
This is called the Lord God speaks in defense of a man whose name he will not mention. Remember, there is a little bit of him in every one of you. Indeed, I begat him from your whores of industry and commerce, where he was conceived in a womb of affluence and grew in an amniotic sac of indifference to those less fortunate than he. Presently, he has evolved into everything I could have ever imagined, here, now, among you, manifest in fattened flesh and hair product. In the beginning, I envisioned him the great metaphor of the human species, a burnt orange emblem mounted on its hood of destruction, and a patron saint for all your tribal afflictions, like the compulsive need of enemies and their scalps, your brooding self-worship, your incestuous cultural intrigue, and the paradox of you being able to create a brilliant symbol and then being unable to distinguish it from what it symbolizes. In the print shop, your man sets the type for the counterfeiters of history, and on the battlefield, he is the absent platoon leader of the jingoists and knee-jerkers, the sock counters and masked torturers who wield your flag. Obsessive, neurotic, fixated, compulsive, irrational, myopic, and sociopathic. I bred him for his bulk, his squint, contorted lip, and his deformed little hands. And also for his taste, which is found right there in his profane mouth. Embrace him as the Christ that you so covet. He is yours to be your Redeemer as you see fit. I made him in your own image, not mine. Well, it could be a long night. It might be a while before we see the light of day again. Tell me now, are you down? Are you down to do this thing? How deep is your faith? How strong's your belief? 'Cause this could be a long night. I mean, this could really knock some time off your clock. You know what I'm saying? I'm not playing. Like a melting candle of pain, you're gonna need to burn away every little thing that no longer matters, 'cause this could be a long night. I'm talking about your dignity. I'm talking about your safety. Well, these are illusions, as you will see, long before you ever see the light. Everything you ever cared about, everything you thought you never doubt, all of this will be driven out, and it could be a long night. It's a leviathan of authoritarianism that we now face, my friends. There will be clouds of foreign entanglements and reams of alternative facts. Executive orders will be issued to round up the opposition. And tanks will rumble through the streets of our nation's capital, and babies will be ripped from the arms of their mothers along our borders. And going up against this is going to take some real courage, both spiritual and physical. So get ready. Man, it could be a long night. I'm talking about your dignity. I'm talking about your safety. Well, these are illusions, as you will see, long before you ever see the light. Everything you ever cared about, everything you thought you never doubt, all of that will be driven out. Yes, it could be a long night. It could be a long night. a mighty long night. Well, you better hold on tight. It could be a long night. In the early 1980s, I went to El Salvador during the midst of all that was going on down there as a quasi-journalist, and I met a young girl by the name of Liliana Hudson. She was from Costa Rica, and she was working for the Green Cross there in the relief effort. And I interviewed her in this place called Chalatenango. And in the process of the interview, while I was in the actual real time, I fell in love with her. And subsequent to that, there were a few international flights and a lot of letters. And then I ended up down visiting her in Costa Rica, and then went home and more letters, but then it was like all crickets. I'd never heard anything from her again. And so I wrote and wrote and wrote and nothing, and then I just said, well, hell, I'm going to go down there. And I went down and found out that she was one of the disappeareds. Liliana, has it been 10 years? Liliana, has it really been 10 years since that afternoon when we made love in your apartment there above the empty street, in the bed by the window with curtains twisting, they were twisting in the breeze, and the jewelry on your dresser, and the flowers in their vases, and your bookcases stacked high and tight with old ideas. Liliana, has it really been 10 years? Liliana, it's as real as yesterday. Liliana, girl, you're more real than yesterday. I see your photographs of Che Guevara and Camus, and your self-portrait nude above your mantle. Silver rings around your toes, and your eyes were just like poems, and your deep ocean kisses, and your offshore whispers, and a hunger that I'll remember till I breathe my last. I fear, Liliana, has it really been 10 So I'm forever changing my set list, and I know musicians that kind of go on the road and they got one and they kind of hang with it, but I really noticed that Cliff and Louise, they were changing theirs, and I had mine all set, and I was ready to come up here, and then Louise did the song about the creepy guy that called her on the phone and how all that went to come from the past, and I went like, okay, I'm gonna have to do a song about that kind of thing, and the problem with the song, however, is that this is a live radio, and it has a really bad word in it several times. And so I have a substitute word for it, but sometimes So I'm really hoping all of y'all will help pull me through this one. And if there's some button that you can hit, there's no button. There's no way to button this thing. They say every man should have a broken heart at least once. 'Cause that's how we all grow emotionally. And I've been kicked around by a lot of women in my life, but nothing can compare to how you treated me. At times it seemed as though the pain would never go away. It was many years ago, I know, but I still feel it to this day. And now I see you wanna be my friend on Facebook. Are you frickin' kidding me? Well, all the memories, they're coming right back to me now. How you lied and cheated, how could I forget? Well, I moved across the world just to get away from you. And then this morning I received your friend request. At times it seemed as though the pain was never gonna quit. You nasty little hussy, oh you narcissistic. I see now that you wanna be my friend on Facebook. Or are you freaking kidding me? Well, I don't care what kind of cocktail you are, or which member of the Beatles or 1950s movie star. And I don't give a flip what your stripper name is, or if your kitty had a litter, or if Farm Bill's in a Twitter. I don't want to see your new tattoo, and I damn sure won't be poking you ever again. Though now I see you wanna be my friend on Facebook. Or are you frickin' kidding me?
Grant Peeples. Thank you, Grant. Woo! Well, you know, Grant and I were talking before the show started, and I said to him, all right, Grant, I don't want anything political tonight. Why don't you do some of your love songs? So he did half of it. You know, I think it worked out pretty nicely. Always a pleasure. All right, well, gosh, we're already at the halfway point of the show. Where's time going? You all having a good time? Awesome. So are we. Let me just remind those of you who are listening tonight that this is Radio Live, coming to you live tonight from the Museum of Commerce in downtown Pensacola. We do this the first Thursday live of every month. So if you want to come down and be a part of the studio audience, which is way fun, the people here are having a great time, way more fun than you're having right now. Yeah, see? Just come on down. If you want to find out more about it, go to radiolive.org and get all the details and get tickets and listen to old shows, new shows. We have everything archived up there. You can also watch Radio Live on YouTube It's at WUWF 12, the number 12, after WUWF. And you can watch all the shows we've done this year since February right there in HD. They look great. It's a great way to watch it and see yourself maybe in some of the shots. Even more fun. All right, joining us once again. Oh, we've got Cliff and Louise. But this is Cliff's set, so officially, welcome once again, Cliff Eberhardt.
There's one thing that I know in my heart very deeply, that I will never in my life follow that song again. I implore you. This is another song from the Shrew album, and it's also on my first record. Thank you. No sailboat, no deep blue sea, no candlelight, just you and me. No violins, just jungle beat, just a warm, wet night on city street. Just your eyes and mud, no moon above. That kind of love. I can hear the noise as I try to sleep. I can hear your voice making love to me. I can hear some fool up on a balcony, just a Shakespeare drunk, killing poetry. I think I know what you're dreaming of, that kind of love. Everybody worries, everybody runs, everybody runs. Everybody searches, somebody settles. Everybody wants to be in love. No big house, no big hill, little room, no big thrill. Summer hot, winter chill. I love you and always will. Tongue in cheek, hand in glove. Do you know what I'm thinking of? That kind of love. That kind of love. That kind of love. Thank you. That was a song that the producer for The Taming of the Shrew was listening to when she called me up on the phone to ask me if I wanted to write, because I mentioned Shakespeare in that song. So all my new songs are going to mention famous playwrights. Come a midnight train, and it calls your name. Can you hear that whistle blow? Better pack your bags, 'cause you leave tonight for the high above and the down below. Yes. No east or west, no right and left. It's up to chance just where we go. 'Cause the go-between is a slot machine in the high above and the down below. Lost in the fog, check the captain's log, keep her steady as she goes. At the river Styx, all abandoned ship for the high above and the down below. No one ever knows when it's time to go. Some people want it clear. Don't waste your time on nursery rhymes. Try living while you're here. No one ever knows when it's time to go. Some people want it clear. Don't waste your time on nursery rhymes. Try living while you're here. Have a midnight train, and it calls your name. Can you hear that whistle blow? This train stops twice, 'cause it's all on praise for the high above and the down below. For the high above and the down below. For the high above and the down below. Yes. Hueys Basra. Many years ago, in a different lifetime, I had this really cool job. I was the lead guitar player for Richie Havens for many years. Thanks. He was a great man. And we were on tour in Europe. We were in Barcelona. And I got a call from Windham Hill that they wanted to sign me. And not only did they want to sign me, I had to come back to do a VH1 special in Texas with John Gorka and Pierce Pettis. And yeah, both good friends of mine. We're still talking. And all Richie said was, well, if you have to leave, man, write a song for us to sing on your first record, which I did, which is over there, and it's a beautiful duet, and we did it live. It sounds like it was layered with all these different tracks and stuff. It was just us playing live. And he had never heard the song before. That's how wild Richie was. You people are so lucky to have this great show in your town. I live in Northampton, Massachusetts. I live in Massachusetts, and there's not a radio station that plays this kind of stuff. So, bless your heart, Pat. And a shout out to the trolley people back here. I've never done a gig where in the middle of a room there's a bunch of people on a trolley. ones that you call friends. There are the ones that you call late at night. There are the ones who sweep away your past with one wave of the hand. There are the ones that you call family. There are the ones that you hold close to your heart. There are the ones who see the danger in you and they won't understand. I can hear your voice in the wind. Are you calling to me down the long road? Do you really think there's an end? I have followed my dreams down the long road. You are the one that I met long ago. You are the one who saw my dream. You are the one who took me from my home and you left me off somewhere. Somehow I feel you are here. You are waiting in that dream. Somewhere down this road we will awake and we'll be at the start again. I can hear your voice in the wind. Are you calling to me down the long road? Do you really think there's an end? I've lived my whole life down the long road. Oh. I gotta find you tonight. Are you waiting for me down the long road? I have followed my dream. I have followed my dream. I will live my whole life down the long road. Are you waiting for me? I can hear your voice in the wind. Are you calling to me down the long road? I have followed my dreams and I will live my whole life. Yes, I can hear your voice in the wind. Are you waiting for me? Are you waiting for me? Your voice in the wind. Your voice in the wind. The wind. Long road. Long road. Thank you very, very much. Thank you.
Cliff Eberhardt. Thank you, Cliff. What a great tune. You know, we've had Cliff on many times over the years of this program. This program has been a long road as well. And happy to say that tonight we begin our 31st year of broadcasting this program. And it's not because of me. I'm lucky I get to host the show. It's because of you that come to the show, support it with your tickets, support it with your contributions. That's what keeps the music coming to Pensacola, and it's really exciting, and it's a great evening tonight. Thank you all for everything you do to make this possible. I want to remind you that over to my far left over there, underneath the hanging guitar, is the RadioLive store, which is full of merchandise tonight from our artists. They have their music, they have their books, they have clothing, they have all sorts of things. And so that's a great way to not only take a piece of them home with you, but to support them in their music as well. So think about that tonight when you're leaving. You might want to stop by there and check out all that great merchandise. And in the meantime, we are going to get to hear once again from this lovely lady to my left, Louise Mosrie. Louise?
I'm going to do some story songs here, so. Ticket in hand, all I own in my bag, mother's tears burning my eyes. Father won't salute the men in brown suits. He's sending me to Amsterdam tonight. Ooh, goodbye, Lorelei. Your song won't haunt me anymore. My heartache leaves me cold. Goodbye, Lorelei. A suitcase waiting by the door, and winter welling in my soul on the last train before the war. "1939, climb the hill one last time, all the boats safely tied near Rock Lorelei, where as the legend goes, a lovely mermaid sings alone, calling young men to drown in her eyes. Ooh, well, goodbye, Lorelei. Your song won't haunt me anymore. Your heartache leaves me cold. Goodbye, Lorelei. A suitcase waiting by the door, and winter welling in my soul on the last train before the war. Sirens called a men at sea to wreck themselves against the shoals, drunk on lies till it's much too late to save their souls. It's 1939, one more time, boats safely tied near Rock Lorelei. It's 80 years since then, never saw my family again, but I made a good life in St. Paul. My daughter Lorelei, she keeps vigil by my side. There I hear a whistle now, like an old friend come to call. Ooh, goodbye, Lorelei. Your song will haunt me evermore. this world leaves me cold. Goodbye, Lorelei. Suitcase waiting by the door. And winter close against my soul. On the last train, I'm on the last train. I'm on the last train. Thank you. Here's a song I wrote after traveling through Texas. Went through this little town called Mineral Wells, where there's a famous old hotel there that's abandoned and haunted. And this is my song for the haunted hotel. Cliff Eberhardt here.
Yeah.
I really missed you.
Baker Hotel, 1929. Rich folk came from miles around to cure their ills of the crazy waters. Came right out of the ground. Mineral Wells, northern Texas, was booming when the country was bust. Young Virginia's there in her finest, and she dreams of dancing in the courtyard at dusk. With the moon on her shoulders, a soft silvery white, she swooned in the arms of a soldier. The band would play all night, and love would check in with a sweet heavy sigh. At the Baker Hotel, 1929. Well, she came from a small sugar farm down along the Brazos River, but she had plans for grandeur that the baker would surely deliver. So she took a job cleaning rooms for Dietrich, Will Rogers, and Harlow. Fell hard for a tall Navy captain, said he'd take her away tomorrow. With the moon on her shoulder, soft silvery white, she swooned in the arms of her soldier. The band played all night, and love checked in with a sweet heavy sigh. At the Baker Hotel, 1929. But she woke in the morning alone. No love, no letter, no dream. Stood at the 7th floor window, stepped right out as though on the street. They say you can still hear the music, smell her rose water perfume. Though the baker's been closed 50 years now, she's still searching for love in those rooms. With the moon on her shoulders, a cold silvery white, alone in a dream of a soldier, and the band still plays all night. And Virginia lives here, suspended in time. at the Baker Hotel, 1929. The Baker Hotel, 1929. Thank you. And this is my, it's going to be my last song. And I just want to thank Pat so much and all the volunteers and everybody who's UWF. And it's just such a joy and such a wonderful community thing that I'm so glad you all support it. And just appreciate y'all. Thanks. This is a song that I got out of a newspaper article in Nashville when I lived there, and I grew up outside of town. And in 2009, they found some bones in the ground out in Franklin, Tennessee, which is about 30 minutes south. And it turns out those bones were from the Civil War, and somebody who wounded who'd wandered far from the battlefield. And so I started looking up the Battle of Franklin, and it turns out it was the 5 bloodiest hours of the Civil War, 10,000 casualties in one afternoon, brutal hand-to-hand combat in the backyard of 2 family farms, the Carter family and the Carton plantation. And so I got inspired to write this song from the point of view of little Annie Carter, who was 5 years old in November of 1864. I want to thank the great Cliff Eberhardt for playing with me. Give him a hand. Oh, now they call this place the Valley of Death. But to me it is my only home. It's all I have left. When the war came to our farm, we hid in the cellar dirt till the guns silenced, but the smoke still took our breath. Dead Union soldier, fatal wound to the gut, but his hands are still clutching that gun just like he forgot. Shallow grave and a prayer to the Lord above. A wooden cross where we laid him, right there in that mud. Somebody's father, somebody's son, or some red-blooded woman's only one. Boy, you can rest here, your work is done. To heaven, brother, and leave your gun. Oh, now these Tennessee hills won't ever be the same. I can see blood running down the valley in my restless dreams. 1,000 bullet holes in my father's walls and beams. We're glad for the wounded who die in their sleep. Somebody's father, somebody's son, or some red-blooded woman's only one. Boy, you can rest now, your work is done. Go on to heaven, brother, leave your gun. Young Todd Carter fought alongside those Southern men, but caught a bullet in the belly, laid up 3 days in my bed. And Mama cried out loud when he shivered hard at the end. And the angels took him home to Jesus, I reckon. And he was my brother, my father's son, my poor dear mother's beloved one. Boy, you can rest here, your work is done. Go on to heaven, go on to heaven, go on to heaven, my brother, where you won't need your gun. Thank you, Cliff Eberhardt.
Louise Mosrie. Louise, thank you so much. And thank you, Cliff, for assisting. All right, everybody, Grant Peeples is up here again, and it's getting late now, so I think he's going to start doing the real dicey stuff since it's getting later in the evening, since he spared us for the last set. I can hardly wait. I want to thank the Hilton Pensacola Beach for their support for this program. They provide the accommodations for our artists, and we sure do appreciate that. Nobody has to sleep in their van tonight.
Yeah, that's as nice a hotel as we get to stay in while we're doing this kind of thing. And I got there last night, actually stayed there last night, and I drank 2 Red Bulls just so I could stay up and enjoy the room.
I'll be sure to tell them that. Once again, Mr. Grant Peeples.
I have over the last few years have been doing quite a bit of poetry in my shows, and I like to do a poem that kind of segs into the song that I'm getting ready to do, and that is not going to happen now. This is called Things Do Not Happen for a Reason. It is not the price of the booze, but rather the accompanying cost of bad decision-making that ultimately raises the curtain on one's life. When she wrapped the car around the power pole, a cascade of beautiful sparks had floated down from the dancing wires above. The radio kept playing. It was a midnight station out of Wichita, jazz. A rear wheel continued to spin on the bent axle like a child's toy. Several people slowed and surveyed the violent scene before driving on, but he stopped and trained his headlights on the crash. Her car was on its side. Through the glare of the cracked windshield, she could see him approach, circumspect, tucking in his shirt, a man with a job to do. A sharp pain was emanating from her left shoulder to the tips of her fingers. She could taste blood in her mouth. But she knew at that very moment she was safe. He knelt beside the car and looked in. "You okay in there?" "Oh, I'm great." She spit blood. "Can you get me out of here, please?" He kicked in the windshield with his boot, crawled in, turned off the radio, unbuckled her, and carefully removed her from the cocoon of airbags. He sailed the bottle he found on the floorboard into the woods, carried her purse, steadied her as they walked to his truck. "Thank you so much," she said. "Thank you, thank you, thank you." They were married within a year, and she got sober for the first time since college. "Things happen for a reason," her best friend told her over coffee. "That's total BS," she said. "Sometimes you just crash lucky." Pitchforks and torches and razors and rocks, barbed wire fences round empty parking lots. Sirens are screaming in a dark, starless night. People loading their guns and sharpening knives. Take 'em down, take 'em down, Take 'em down, let the righteous reign. Take 'em down, take 'em down now. Take 'em down, let the righteous reign. In pitchforks and torches, and a vulture on a wire, and the river's dried up and the lakes are on fire. Preachers, Trump teachers, and information wars just kicking up dust and settling scores. Take 'em down, take 'em down, take 'em down, let the righteous reign. Take 'em down, take them down now. Take 'em down, let the righteous reign. Pitchforks and torches, and a traitor's flag waves, and a hallelujah nation that is handling snakes. And friends are now foes, and foes are now friends, edging up to a ledge where the end and begins. Take 'em down, take 'em down, take 'em down, let the righteous reign. Take 'em down, take them down now. Take 'em down, let the righteous reign. Take 'em down, take 'em down now. Take 'em down, take 'em down, take 'em down. Yeah, back when I got started in this business, I used to like pay these people to go out on the road with me, and I had to like buy them dinner and like listen to them talk to their girlfriends and boyfriends on the phone at 3 o'clock in the morning riding down the road. And now I don't do that anymore. I just find players. When I go out, it's just like, you know, it's amazing what a great guitar player I just found in that room back there. Well, I heard about the hanging this morning, and I rode on into town. And there were gallows nailed up on the square, and a big crowd had gathered all around, selling postcards and cotton candy, and crucifixes, American flags. I seen a woman, she wept the gallows steps. She held a little bird in her hand, and she said,
I'm not crying for him. I don't even know his name. But what he done was a sin against God, to be reckoned come judgment day. No, I'm crying for what we become, still burning our flesh to dust. No, I'm not crying for him, I'm crying about us.
The prisoner climbed the gallows steps. You could feel excitement in the crowd as that noose got lowered down over his head, and his face was covered with a shroud. And then that woman held her little bird to her breast as the order rang loud and clear. And then I heard a crack as they snapped his neck, and the crowd, it let out a cheer. And she said,
I'm not crying over him, I don't even know his name. What he done was a sin against God, to be reckoned come judgment day. No, I'm crying for we've become, still burning our flesh to dust. No, I'm not crying over him, I'm crying about us.
Well, they cut him down, they hauled him off, and the people, they all gone home. And the wind blew trash through that empty street where that woman, she stood all alone. And then she knelt down on the gallows steps and she bowed her head to pray. Then she raised her hands above her head, let that little bird fly away. And she said, I'm not crying for him. Well, I don't even know his name. What he done was a sin against God, to be reckoned come judgment day. No, I'm crying for what we've become, still burning our flesh to dust. Oh, and I'm not crying over him, I'm crying about us. Oh, and I'm not crying over him,
I'm crying about us.
Louise Mosrie. Thank you so much to WUWF. I've played this thing several times, and it has just been one of the greatest things for me personally and for my career to meet the people over here who support this radio station. And I thank all of y'all for getting behind it. It takes a village to make one of these radio stations work, and I know that each and every one of you has been a part of it, and I want to thank you for that. I also want to tell you I've got some stuff to sell. I'm kind of like a socialist, entrepreneurial dude, and so I think Pat mentioned my new book. It's really only been out for like 10 days, My Advice to Pilgrims, and so I've got that over there, and I have this new record that I made since I was here last time called Settling Scores, and it has a lot of the songs that I've played tonight. Also, I just want to say, because it's kind of fun, I have a book of, I guess you would call it dirty poems, called Bad Poetry, and I have a CD, you could call it Bad Songs too, I guess. It's Indiscretion. It has that song that I did a little while ago that y'all helped me through, and so I have that over there too if you want to go in that direction. And I think they're doing Jenny, who is new with WUWF, and she's over there and she's running specials on this stuff. Also, I got my email address over there, and I have a former first cousin, it's a long story, who sells these water treatment devices, and he is over there in Baghdad. And he's giving me $5 for every email address I get today. So if y'all would, if you'll put your name on my email address, you don't even have to buy anything. I get $5 free and clear for that. And his name is Horace, and he will call you. Yeah. All right, we're going to do one more, and I've employed Cliff to play on this, and Louise is going to help me out. This is a song for you. in the middle of the winter when you need a vacation. Come where the sun and the sand is waiting, right down here at the bottom of our nation. I'm talking about Florida. Yeah, come on down to the Sunshine State. Bring your money, check out the place. Well, chances are you'll decide to stay. Hell, everybody else does. Well, there's 1,000 new residents coming down every day. They're all moving in and buying up the place. They're filling in the swamps to make some more space. And man, we're starting to need it. We got snake farms and alligator wrestlers, more state executions than anywhere but Texas. Shuffleboard and wet t-shirt contestants. Man, you gotta see it to believe it. And come on down to the Sunshine State. Bring your money, check out the place. Well, chances are you'll decide to stay. Hell, everybody else does. Well, we're number one in lightning strikes, snake bites, alligator and shark attacks. Got 1 million illegal aliens to sack all our trash, clean toilets, wash dishes, and cut the grass. I'm telling you, it's heaven. We feature one golf course for every man, woman, and child. We cut down the trees and get to see for miles. Don't it seem like a place you could kick back a while? Well, dude, it don't get no better. Yeah, come on down to the Sunshine State. Bring your money, check out the place. Well, chances are you'll decide to stay. Hell, everybody else does. We got these federally subsidized sugar plantations. They're bigger and richer than European nations. They own our politicians and hire all the Haitians. It's what you call a sweet deal. Well, everybody said it was some kind of luck when we said it ain't over till your brother counts the votes. And 10 years later, y'all elected Rick Scott. It's what you call a state steal. And come on down to the Sunshine State. Bring your money, check out the place. Well, chances are you'll decide to stay. Hell, everybody else does. Our school system rates higher than Mississippi and Louisiana. And though we ain't up there with Arkansas and Alabama, 20% of our kids wind up in the slammer. And that's gotta count for something. You see, we ain't got no state income tax, 'cause we get to stick it to the Yankee tourists to make up for that. A service-based economy's what keeps us fat. That and a lot of fried mullet. And come on down to the Sunshine State. Bring your money, check out the place. Well, chances are you'll decide to stay. Hell, everybody else does. And come on down to the Sunshine State. Bring your money, check out the place. Well, chances are you'll decide to stay. Hell, everybody, everybody, everybody else does. Thank you.
All right. I got to tell you, the level of artistry tonight was off the charts. Thanks to our artists, Grant Peeples, Cliff Eberhardt, and Louise Mosrie. RadioLive is a production of WUWF Public Media at the University of West Florida. Our technical director and broadcast mix master is Mr. Dale Regal. Our house sound is engineered by Tom Skinner. All right. Our videographers are Teresa Clark, Corbin McCoy, and Chuck Dunlap. Our video director is Quentin Williams. Our house manager is Trish Allison. Our stage manager is everybody's favorite Jewish mother, Enid Siskin. This is Pat Crawford reminding you to keep your mind on your driving, your heart on the coast, and your dial on public radio. Good night, everybody. Safe driving.